All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan. I think British, actually pretty much every major Western European country should learn something from America, because there is a reason why America is the superpower of the world, because the culture is very different. Americans take Americanism, their national identity, a lot more seriously than their European counterparts. I don't know why that is, or maybe because of the failure of woke politics or the failure of multiculturalism, these differences are becoming more and more prominent. I don't know why that is, but it is blindingly obvious now that Americans take a lot more pride in their national identity, in their culture, in their history. They value their Americanism a lot more seriously. What am I talking about? Let me show you what is happening in Europe. Look at this. Arrest rates in the UK, different nationalities, population adjusted. So out of 1,000 people who are arrested, only 12 are Brits. And by the way, they're not all white Brits. They include British Pakistanis, British Indians, British Bengalis, all kinds of Brits. Somalis, look at that, Somali, 64.6. Moroccans, 70. Algerians, 72. Iraqis, 92. Afghans, 106. So out of every 1,000 people that are arrested in the UK, 100 of them are Afghans. And Albanians, they're like 210. I don't know what the hell is going on in Albania. Okay? GB News published this, okay? This is not some hogwash. That is just one statistic that I showed you. Look what the British politicians are doing to their own people. Have a look at this. Oh my goodness, look at this. Sexual offenses per 10,000, okay? Afghanistan, right at the top. Out of every 10,000 sexual offenses, 60 of them are committed by Afghan men. They all came here after 2021. They released them. Eritrea number 2, Namibia, Chad, Moldova, Sudan, Burma, Congo, Albania, Angola, and the UK is right there at the bottom, next to zero almost. That's what they're doing to their own women. This is scandalous. How can anyone let this happen to their own people? But Trump, one woman, unfortunately gets killed, and he says, you know what? F this. I'm going to turn everything upside down. America is America, after all. You got to love America. Let me show you what's been happening in Europe, okay? Check this out. I've got literally hundreds of these videos. I don't even know where to begin. Look at all these machete-wielding men in Germany. Look at them. Look at all these Germans. How cute. They're all Germans. Yeah, isn't that amazing? Look at this. This is France. A French pizza shop offered a free pizza shop, and look at all these beautiful French people lining up. Look at this. This is Britain. This is Liverpool.
This is the shocking moment a man tries to kidnap a teenager.
This British man. Look at this white British man.
In broad daylight. The 19-year-old girl was waiting for friends outside Liverpool Lime Street station when 25-year-old Osman Molam approached her, said something she didn't understand, and suddenly grabbed her arm. He began pulling her away.
You get the point. Look at this 41-year-old Mohammed Azim has been charged with the murder of a 19-year-old English girl, Lily Whitehouse. She was found dead on a street in Albury Park on November 5th. Okay. This is Portugal. Yeah, that was Portugal. Yeah, I remember that. I'm not going to play you the video. An African migrant stabbed a 38-year-old woman to death in park in Porto, Portugal yesterday. Okay. This is the video. I'm not going to play you the video. Look at this. This is Switzerland. Oh, the home of Roger Federer. Look at all these Roger Federers. Look at all these Roger Federers running around. Look at this. This is Switzerland. I grew up hearing that Switzerland was heaven on earth. Is that heaven? I'm sure it was heaven when it was occupied by Swiss people. Look at this. How can anyone say that this is amazing? Diversity is enriching us. They come to Western countries and they're still not happy, not grateful, not happy.
Coming here is just a mental torture. There is a prison.
Look at the prison. Let's have a look at a prison. Look at the sad music. This guy needs woke.
Wrong. This is wrong. What they're doing to people is wrong. Trust me, it's not the right thing to do.
You know, she gave up her really luxury lifestyle in Somalia or Sudan, wherever she came from. She used to live in a mansion there.
Because how can you be at home and you can't even live like home? 3 kids are sleeping in one tiny room. I can show it to you. Me and my baby were sleeping there. This place is just a ridiculous place they could ever offer to anybody. This is a place for animals, not for human beings. Because human beings deserve to be in a home. This is a container. It's where people keep their storage. We are not animal. We are not storage. We are not furnitures. We are human. We have
Deport. Look, I don't know. I'm not saying that this is amazing. Why should British taxpayers fund your lifestyle? What do these people not understand? Anyway, I guess you get the point that I was trying to make. Look at that. When these people come, these woke, white, liberal women, give them water, mobile phones. Yeah, come. And when they put them in temporary accommodations, they cry about it. They're not even happy about it. And then they commit crime. Look at this one. A Muslim teen avoids prison for multiple sexual assaults at London tube stations. November 7th. All of this, by the way, is from the last 30 days, okay? I'm not giving you some 10, 15-year-old stories. And by the way, I don't even save all of them. These are my bookmarks. I lose track. There's so many of these incidents taking place almost every single day. So this is what I meant by Europe should learn something from America. Oh, actually, no. Before I go into that, let me play you another pathetic video from Europe. Have a listen to this woman. So they come, they assault women, and those women can't even complain about it. A lot of these women are actually woke women too, because you can tell, because when they're complaining about men harassing them, they quietly leave out the bit that explains what nationality are they. Because maybe deep down inside, their inner conscious says that, oh, I shouldn't mention that he was African, or I shouldn't mention he was a Syrian or an Afghan because that would be racist. No, I should just lump all men in the same category, even though when they're not. Cultures matter, right? Listen to this woman. So when these third worlders come from third world countries where they have different standards, different morals and ethics, different view of women, and when they come to Western countries, when they see Western women walking around, they just them and sexually assault them. You can't even call it a bad thing, according to this judge. Listen to this judge. Let me read it out. We cannot expect an African to know that you cannot a person on the beach in Italy because he probably doesn't even know. Oh, how sweet. He doesn't even know that you cannot stick your little thing wherever you want. Oops, sorry. Is that bigotry of low expectation? What is it? Okay, if they don't know that you can't do these kind of things, then why let them in? Why not send them back? It's this woke madness that is literally destroying Western civilization. Everywhere, but not America. I'll come to that. Not America. Well done, US. On the beach in Italy, because he probably doesn't even know. Oh, are you from Afghanistan? Is that the reason why you that woman? Oh, that's okay. Oh, sorry, I'm not making this up. Judges have literally accepted this as an excuse that, oh, he came from a culture where he didn't know that it's a wrong thing to do. He really doesn't know. Get it? Now, this is why I have to love and respect and admire America, because Americans don't buy this nonsense. As you guys know, just last week, a deranged, unhinged Afghan he tried to kill 2 American National Guard members, but he succeeded with one woman, and the other one is still in a critical condition, I believe. And by the way, just a day before that unhinged Afghan attempted to kill 2 American National Guardsmen, another Afghan was arrested, issuing death threats, violent threats. Look at this. I think CNN reported on it. Let me see. Oh, no, it's Fox, of course. Why would CNN report on that? Let's have a listen to that.
Well, this just in. We have a Fox News alert from Brooke Taylor. You won't believe this. DHS is confirming that an Afghan national was arrested Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok indicating he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area. Mohammed Dawood Al-Okazai is charged at the state level with making a terroristic threat. According to DHS, listen to this. He came to the United States as part of Operation Allies Welcome. So here you have it. This happened Tuesday. Texas Department of Public Safety. This is a second Afghan national, second one this week, Operation Allies Welcome. He had a terror plot. We know it comes the same week that deranged individual, that alleged assassin, took out two of our heroic National Guard, came here on the same program, Operation Allies Welcome, a program that we were assured time and time again by Mayorkas, by Jen Psaki, by Joe Biden himself was safe and secure. But here we have a second data point in 1 week.
By the way, in the entire Muslim world, it's only the Pakistanis who are celebrating this. And they are saying, yes, America, yes, President Trump, please deport them. You know why they're doing that? Because Pakistan has recently deported in excess of 1 million Afghan refugees. And their pretext was exactly the same, that they're committing crime here, they've got an illegal economy, smuggling, etc. So they blame all of them and they kicked them out. They kicked out 1 million Afghans. And ever since the Taliban came to power, they've actually turned on Pakistan as well. So there's another political element to that as well. But isn't that amazing? Pakistan can deport 1 million Afghans. Nobody makes a peep. Nobody says anything. It's perfectly fine. In fact, the UAE has paused all visa applications from Pakistan because they are citing that Pakistanis commit a lot of crime in the UAE. Nobody's saying anything about that. Nobody's crying racism over there. But lo and behold, if a Western country says that, look, sorry, we don't want our civilians to be murdered by people who come from different countries, who have different set of values, but no, that is racist. I guess that's the side effect of being too civilized. Because, by the way, people who are criticizing Trump for pausing all immigration from third world countries and also re-vetting those who were given green cards by the previous administration, the people who are criticizing Trump are also the members of American society, and they're lefties. They're bleeding heart liberals, you know, tree-hugging wokes. You wouldn't find these people in Afghanistan. You wouldn't find these people in the UAE or in Pakistan. You know what they say? They say, yep, send them out. They're not suffering from suicidal empathy. But apart from Pakistan, every other Muslim, from every other Muslim country, they're saying, oh, well, you know, the CIA trained him. The CIA trained him to kill, not the Afghan civilians, to neutralize the threat of the Taliban. But the USA forgot that, you know, there are people who bite the hand that feeds them. So I don't know if you guys remember, there was another story earlier this year where there was a traffic stop where an unhinged Afghan, yeah, this one, check this out. Listen to this guy.
Get a job, I can't get a
This happened on April 23rd, 2025, where another one of these Afghan imports who supposedly helped America, they were rescued so they don't get killed by the Taliban. He came in and now he was saying, look, you know, I can't get a job, whatever. So he's going through some sort of a breakdown and then he starts shooting.
Don't play that bullshit. So you don't have a registration to the vehicle? Taliban, but in America, concerned and a dumbass when I was concerned about Taliban, but in America, since 2014, I'm concerned about more about you people. Because you lie, because you play games, that's how I'm going deeper.
Okay. So when someone comes from a third world country, they don't understand the process of bureaucracy. They don't understand that you have to fill out a form, then you have to apply for a license, and then you have to wait for it. You have to set a driving test. There are terms and conditions. So, of course, he's going through some sort of trouble, and he's having a mental breakdown, and then he starts shooting, as you can see that there. So I'm not going to play you the video. So Muslims are saying they're making excuses, not apologizing. They're gaslighting the American people. They're saying, well, first of all, this is your mess. You created this mess. The CIA trained these people. The CIA trained these people to neutralize the threat of the Taliban. So Afghanistan could become a prosperous democracy, but America underestimated the power of tribalism, primitiveness, the archaic nature of the Afghan society. America thought that once you denazify a country, like they did in Germany, then democracy flourishes. Unfortunately, that's not how the world works. Germany was a highly civilized society. 1930s Germany was a highly civilized society. It was just held hostage by an extreme far-right radical ideology. That's why once the Nazis were defeated, Germany rose very quickly. Japan was also, it was feudal Japan, but it was also a highly industrialized and educated society. That's why once you got rid of the Imperial Japan, it rose very quickly. So America thought that we can civilize these people by eradicating a primitive form of governance like the Taliban. But it didn't work out because Afghans are, I'm sorry, they are tribalistic. They're still living in medieval times. You can't bring democracy. So anyway, so America lost, okay? People say that as some sort of an insult to America. America didn't lose. Yeah, America could not achieve its ambitions of nation building, but America did not lose. Is it America's loss? America's economy is still doing fine. You are still begging to go to America. America's doing fine. Yes, you didn't become a civilized democracy. America tried to help you, but America failed. That's what America failed in. So Muslims are trying to gaslight the American people and say, this is your mess. No, it's not your mess. Well, you know what? How past superpowers used to behave? They would bomb you, they would kill you, and then they will go back and they will not accept your refugees. It was the good nature of the American people that they said, oh, you know what? Things didn't go as we planned, so we will take you back. We will take some of you. Now, I'm saying morally and ethically, that's the right thing to do. But America is under no obligation. Nope. Some people might say, oh, yeah, it's your mess, so you may clean it up. No, you don't actually have to. You know, you can bomb and you can leave. That's what every superpower in history has done. Have a look at Afghanistan after the Soviets left in the 90s. There wasn't even a single standing building in Kabul. The Soviets didn't come and rebuild it. But now, when America left, the Taliban inherited a pretty developed country with basic infrastructure. I remember when the Taliban took over Kabul. They were like, whoa, they're sitting in these beautiful presidential buildings doing bureaucracy work. These people don't know what bureaucracy is. By the way, this is not a new phenomenon. I found something. Look at this. Exactly the same thing. This is from October 11th, 2024. Afghan man arrested who planned terror plot on election day. Worked as a security guard for the CIA in Afghanistan. Flown out of Afghanistan to USA via Biden-Harris let anyone in the USA unvetted policy. So not vetted, working for CIA either. So look at this, exactly the same situation. He worked for the CIA. He came under the Biden administration's program, and he tried to carry out a terrorist attack. So a year later, one of these Afghan men who came under the Biden administration was successful. He killed one woman and critically injured another one, which made President Trump say this: I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the US system to fully recover. Why couldn't a single European country make a statement like that? It's because they don't value their national identity. They don't care. They don't care who's coming in. They don't care if their women are being raped by third world horny men. They don't care if they're getting stabbed. Remember that guy? The guy. Let me find that story. This was a worst news story of the time. I covered that. Okay, I'm not going to play the whole video, but I'll describe it to you. Hopefully you would remember this news story. So this happened last year or the year before, where a Danish man burned a copy of the Koran as a protest. An Afghan man charges. This is that Afghan man, this one. These guys in the blue are the ones who were protesting. Look at this. He goes around stabbing people. He's trying to stab everyone. Look at this. I think I have a video with this thumbnail. And he goes after. So he falls down. A German police officer comes in. Look at this. Totally unhinged. A German police officer comes in. Look at this. A German police officer comes in. And he grabs. This is so stupid. The German police officer who comes in, he grabs this guy, one of the protesters. Because in his woke training, he's been told it's the white man who you got to watch out for, not these poor migrants from Afghanistan or Syria or Libya. So this poor guy, I don't want to blame him, unfortunately. So this Afghan man, look at him. While he's tackling the protester, the Afghan man goes and stabs the poor police officer in the neck. Okay, I'm not going to play you the videos. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. This is basically the end result. Look at this. It's the same police officer. That protester is pinned to the ground, and this Afghan guy stabs him in the neck. Poor guy dies the next day. They've been doing this for so long to their own civilians. None of them had the spine to say, okay, you know what? Enough is enough. We're going to start deporting you. So President Trump has said that he's going to pause all immigration from all third world countries. Yes, do it. And here's a caveat. This is what I have been talking about. I know Trump doesn't watch my videos, but this is what I've been trying to convey for the last 4 or 5 years. Remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or Britain or France or Germany or Australia, or is incapable of loving our country. End all federal benefits, yes, and all welfare and subsidies to non-citizens of our country. Denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization or Western values. That includes a lot of Muslims. I'm sorry, it does. These people don't hide it anymore. I'll play you some videos to qualify my statement. They openly, boastfully say it. It's as though they're purposefully antagonizing the public. Like they want you to deport them. Seriously, is that stupid? These goals will be pursued with the aim of achieving major reduction in illegal, and I say even legal population, legal migration. I was looking at this statistic. Trump posted it on True Social. Look at this. 1 in 6 people in America are born outside of America. Foreign-born share of the U.S. population is now higher than any other point in history. Look at this, it's right there. So 53 million people are born outside of America. Okay, that's 15.8% of the population. In Australia, that number has reached to 30%. Albeit, I think more than half of that is from Britain. So, British people can come here. Canadians or Americans can come here. That is not a cultural threat or civilizational threat to Australia. And vice versa. If you release a Melburnian into Austin, Texas, or Miami, Florida, he's not going to do anything. If you take out the entire population of Australia and release them in the United States, you wouldn't even notice anything. You might see a few crocodile Dundees running around, but that's about it. It's not a cultural threat. But if you released 20 million Afghans in America, your country is screwed. It's screwed. This is not racist. This is how humanity has always worked. Humanity has come up with various cultures, with different values, and different outcomes. It's as simple as that. You bring in 1 million Somalis, you're going to bring in 1 million Somalis who behave like Somalians, not like Americans, not like Canadians. They will behave like Somali people. That's just how humanity works. It's not racist. So well done, America. This is what Trump has done. So, effective immediately, processing of all immigration requests relating to Afghan nationals is stopped indefinitely pending further review of security and vetting protocols. The protection and safety of our homeland and the American people remains our singular focus and mission. Why could the British government not say that the safety of the British public is the most important thing to us? Why could they not? Again, that goes back to the culture that I was talking about. Yes, Somalis are only going to behave like Somalis, and Brits are going to behave like Brits. They're not going to behave like Americans. Americans take a lot of pride in their national identity. Brits, unfortunately, don't. Maybe that's why Britain is no longer a superpower. Maybe that's how cultures decline. Maybe that's what Brits need to learn. But look, I'm not saying that with glee. I love Britain. I love England. I want Britain to prosper. I want Britain to regain its former glory. I say that with pain in my heart. But it's not going to happen by itself. The future of Britain is in the hands of the British people. We still have democracy in these wonderful countries. When the time comes, do not elect the same politicians who have let you down before. Do not. That's it. Time's up. And we are actually starting to see a mini silent revolution in Australia too. Pauline Hanson's One Nation Party is a minor party, was a minor party. It's surging in polls. I think it's going to become the biggest political party in Australia very quickly. Nobody's paying any attention. You know why? Because they're ignorant. They haven't seen what happened in Germany with the AfD, in France with Marine Le Pen's party, and with reform in the UK. You have to ask yourself this question. Why are your politicians not doing what Trump is doing? Why? What more do you need? One US National Guard member died. Yeah? One, she got killed. And the other one is in critical condition. Just 2 fatalities almost. And Trump said, F you all. I'm going to turn your entire world upside down. I know a lot of innocent Afghans are going to get caught up in this too, because I think there are literally tens of thousands of Afghans and who haven't behaved like that. Okay? You are always going to get some unhinged people, but that's not the point. It really isn't the point. Those tens of thousands of Afghans, who are they going to be when they grow up? Are they going to be model American citizens? I can bet my life they won't. Because time has shown us, data and evidence shows that multiculturalism has failed. I was thinking about this. I think the idea of multiculturalism was that every person that we bring in from a foreign country is going to integrate and assimilate. Sort of like me, okay? I live like a Western person. My values are Westernized. My lifestyle is Westernized. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but even my problems are Westernized, okay? I think that was the goal. I don't go around hoping that Islam will one day take over Australia or America or Britain. I don't have such dreams. I'm not going to breed my next generation and brainwash them to, we got to conquer America. I'm not going to do that. But I'm an exception. You've seen what's going on in Dearborn, yeah? Look at this. Look at this. What is this?
No one divide us. Because only one nation under God.
Oh, yeah.
They're provoking you. Like, seriously, sometimes I think that there is a conspiracy, maybe. Maybe it's the white supremacists who have hired these people to act like this, so that will antagonize the public. But no, it's actually serious. They are deluded people. Let me show you this guy. Yeah? You'd be like, are you stupid? Is this guy stupid? Just listen to him.
You lost. The mistake that you have lost. You lost.
He's saying this to white people. How racist is this? This is actually so racist that people like this who move to a foreign country, they are so inherently racist that they cannot even fathom for a moment to adapt the values of a culture or of a race that is not their own. Like, he's a brown man. He cannot imagine for a moment to adopt anything from the white culture. Isn't that racist?
The mistake that you made is you let us in the first place. See, that's the thing with brown people. I'm going to say this as a brown person. There's a lot of us, like a lot. There's like 1.2 billion in India. There's more than 200 million in Pakistan. There's like 170 million in Bangladesh. Those are just the people there. I'm even talking about the folks who are expats or immigrants. There's a bunch of us. And we breed. We're a breeding people.
That's a disparaging word to describe your reproduction, you idiot. Monkeys, apes, animals, mice breed. Human beings reproduce, not breed.
And the problem is you let us in 1965. There were a few of us beforehand. But once you let one of us in, you know what happens with brown folks? Our grandmother comes, our grandfather comes, our uncle comes, our aunt comes, our cousin comes, our second cousin comes, our third cousin comes. Then we have kids, a bunch of kids. And then guess what? Some white women, the Western civilization women, the pure women, the American women, quote unquote, the Rust Belt women, the real women, they like some of us brown folks. We don't take them. They come to us. So we're embedded. We are everywhere. We are everywhere. I've traveled this country. I'm going to speak as a brown person. Brown people are everywhere. There will be a Patel motel or there will be a Desi restaurant everywhere. I want you to realize this. You have lost. Your story is a shitty story filled with misery. It's filled with bland chicken. It's filled with terrible, terrible dry ass meat. Your music sucks. All your culture sucks. Nobody. That's why the kids like listen to black people and their music. That's why the kids love Latinos. Your parties suck because they're monochromatic. Our parties have better food, better music, better looking women.
Wow. Isn't that racist? Well, these idiots don't understand that he's antagonizing and he's saying that, oh, you let us come in. That was your first mistake. These idiots don't understand that cultures can change very quickly. He's actually telling them that, hey, you let us in. You made a mistake. You know what's going to happen now? Some people are going to get up and they're going to say, let us rectify our mistake. Let us grab you from the streets and let us put you in a ship and send you back. That's what they're asking for. I can guarantee, I am 100% convinced shit's going to hit the fan. It's inevitable. It's done. It's just a matter of when. When is it going to happen? It's not the issue of if. Look, Trump just recently instructed his ambassador here in Canberra, in Australia, to start gathering evidence or data on foreign-born migrant criminals. Because our government is also a woke government. It doesn't share its data with us. We've seen a spike in sexual assaults, machete violence. Look it up. Sudanese crime wave in Melbourne, in Adelaide, even in Brisbane. Now, I'm telling you, these things didn't used to happen 10 years ago. People are not scared to talk about it now. It's either you go extinct or get labeled a racist. I think people are saying, you know what? I'll take my chances. You want to call me a racist or bigot? I don't care. The life of my kids is more important than your label of racism. So the tide is turning. I think Trump is going to pressure European countries, including, I hope he does it to our woke politician Anthony Albanese too. I hope he does it, because America is the muscle of the West. Actually, there was a very interesting comment Trump just made. Let me play that to you.
To stop this horrible invasion that's happening to Europe, many countries in Europe. Some people, some leaders have not let it happen, and they're not getting the proper credit they should. I could name them to you right now, but I'm not going to embarrass the other ones.
Like Donald Tusk and Viktor Orban, he's talking about them. I'm not a fan of Viktor Orban because he seems for Putin, but besides the point, at least he's keeping his own country safe. I'm extremely pro-Ukraine, but having said that, any leader's first and foremost responsibility is the safety and security of his own nation, of his own citizens. So Viktor Orban, he's managed to keep his country safe. Hungarian women are not getting by Algerians and Somalis and Afghans and Syrians. They have their own rate, which is native to Hungary, whatever the percentage is. And it's actually one of the lowest in the world. Let me show you. There's a stat for everything. Look at this. United Kingdom, rates per 100,000. 109 women get in Britain, in the United Kingdom, and they ain't white British people, I'm telling you. They ain't. Look at this, Sweden, another country that went from one of the most happiest and livable countries just 20 years ago to one of the capitals of the world, certainly of Europe. Look at this. What countries are on the other end? Poland! Donald Tusk. The Donald Trump just said that I don't want to name them. Where's Hungary? Oh, there it is. Hungary, 5.89. Okay, not that high. Where's 5.89 per 100,000? That's a native problem. Portugal, Hungary, Spain, these countries are doing okay. But look at this. I would hold these politicians responsible seriously. If you have a family member who becomes a victim of this horrible crime, how could you forgive these politicians who let these people come in their thousands and do absolutely nothing? Anyway, that's what Trump was saying.
Immigration is killing Europe. And the other thing, stop the windmills, killing the beauty of your countries. Thank you very much.
Stop the windmills. Yeah, anyway, so I think Europeans should learn from America. This is how you protect your identity, your history. If you don't respect the country you live in, if you don't give it your undivided attention, get out. Get out. I don't know why. I don't feel any sense of loyalty to Pakistan. I just don't. I don't feel that I've done anything wrong. I don't feel any of that. I just don't, because my values are different. I don't follow Pakistani values. I don't. I'm not picking on them. They have their own medieval set of values that they think what's honorable and what's acceptable. I don't agree with that. My intellectual brain doesn't allow me. What I see, Western values, that makes sense to me. This is how we should treat women. This is how we should treat LGBTQ people. This is how we should view interfaith relationships, tolerance, freedom of speech, be able to listen to the opposing argument without resorting to violence. These things are foreign. This is not acceptable in Pakistan. Hundreds of churches have been burned to the ground in Pakistan. Hindu girls in Pakistan, their minorities, are raped. Child marriage is rampant. These things are acceptable within the laws of Pakistan. I don't like them. I'm not a part of that culture. Yeah, I was accidentally born there. So if I can give my undivided loyalty to the country that I live in, why can't these immigrants? And you saw the Pakistani American, how he was bragging about how there are billions of them. So if you love it so much, F off. That courtesy that if you like it so much, then go back. This is a courtesy statement. This is actually a prelude of what's to come. Because right now you are being given this option. I think a time will come when that option will be removed and the decision will be made for you. You wouldn't be given a choice. So anyway, so the tide is turning. The future looks bright, but well done, America, for leading us again.